we're back with Jennifer Adams.
Hi again.
For those of you who didn't see our last segment, Jennifer is an entrepreneur and also an interior designer. And we're going to be talking about the holidays again.
And how to basically make an impact in your home for the holiday without having to go overboard or overspending. Because you really don't have to do the entire house. In fact, sometimes when you feel compelled to decorate every single room, it can almost look a little bit less impactful and can start looking like clutter. So there are a couple places that you really want to pay attention to when you're decorating your home, and one of them is the fragrance. Fragrance masks so much and it just evokes holiday. So just like we did for Thanksgiving, we've put together a little recipe that you could put together just to make the whole house smell so good. A slow cooker, which you can find a slow cooker at Costco, and water, and then turn it on warm and just let it simmer. It can even simmer for days. And a way to really evoke the Christmas spirit or even just winter is using rosemary, and put just sprigs of the rosemary right into the water. This makes a big difference. So basically just like a handful of it. It's beautiful, but it also is smells great. Sorry, I've got dogs and it's real life in my house, and there must be another dog. Sorry, another dog must have ran by. Cranberries, just for the look, and as you look into the water, it's so pretty. These don't really impact the fragrance, so you can just use as many as you want just for a decorative effect. Vanilla really adds a lot with the rosemary, and I'd put at least a half of the bottle, if not these. Oh, my boys.
Hopefully you'll get to meet Oliver and
You'll get to meet Oliver and Jackson. Hopefully their cuteness will make up for their loud bark. Oh, it never fails. They know all their friends and their neighbors as they walk by the house. They can sniff them out. So, and then you just put in about a half a bottle of the vanilla, and it's not an exact science. The more, the better. It smells so good. And then sliced lemons. This makes it look beautiful, but it also smells so good. Sorry. I'm gonna see if we can grab the boys somehow.
It's all good.
So I don't have to leave the camera for misbehaving dogs. So anyway, when you fragrance your home, it makes a huge impact on the holiday without having to spend a lot of money. So that's the slow cooker one. The other trick is using a diffuser, which I know Costco.com sells diffusers. I think
Yes,
Costco
and we have
does.
them at Costco.
That's
yes.
great. And that I love, because you could just put a little cranberry fragrance in, or any type of essential oil, like a pine fragrance, and you can just put a diffuser on and let it go. And try them through candles, and just be careful where you put them, and they're amazing pine fragranced candles. And if you literally, all you have is vanilla, and you can get vanilla at Costco, you could burn some vanilla on the stove, and that even evokes a little bit of a holiday fragrance too. It's amazing. So then another way to get the feeling of the holiday into your home is to offer your guests and your family cocktails. So champagne is a really great go-to for the holiday season, and it's easy because you don't have to worry about it expiring. It can age well in your refrigerator even for years. Kirkland has an amazing Prosecco right now, but it sells out so quickly. So if you find it, you might want to stash up enough for a couple years, because it sells out quickly. But taking just a regular champagne, if you have clippings from your tree, you can line them up right at the base of the glasses, and that just makes it really pretty and festive. And you can put rosemary with cranberries right inside your glasses of champagne, and look how festive that looks.
That looks beautiful.
It's so pretty, and they're really easy to make. What you do with the rosemary is just clean off the bottom third of the stem, and then poke holes in your cranberries. And I actually have this hole poked in so I can get through here fairly easily, and you just poke the cranberry right through the rosemary. It just takes a second, and it's just a little bit more of a festive touch for the holiday.
Yeah, I love that.
Okay, so now we'll start talking about decor. Your areas, we're gonna show you my great room to start, where we were with the Christmas tree. So I'm gonna show you how I incorporated the reds to make more of an impact. And we'll spin here, just look at the sofa table to start. The tree has got red ornaments, and so I just took a little bit of a garland and put it, ribboning the garland around the room, just put this right on the sofa table added some white lights, and then just a couple ornaments instead of putting them on the tree. Just brought some of the same ornaments and put them in the garland. These aren't even holiday, these are just regular accessories. And just added them for a splash of red. And then you'll see these books used again in another area of the house in a second, or in this room. But I'm gonna show you how I brought that white same book through to the holiday theme, and they're just regular books that we have. In fact, a trick, and I know I've told you this before, if you don't have white books, you can just turn the jackets of your books inside out, and then miraculously your books become all white and very neutral to use in your decor. Let's go over to the mantle now. I'll show you just some simple things. Sometimes, oh good, Jody's gonna come join us. Come take a seat and all.
Yeah, I love the fireplace.
Good. Good. And your shirt goes perfectly with the pillows. Mantles, for some reason, mantles can tend to feel like a lot of pressure and that they have to be so perfect and what to do with a mantle. Simplicity, I think, is the key. And so you can just do something as simple as a garland. And a way to make it more impactful is to drape it. So you're cascading it up the sides. So you've got some hanging down the sides a little bit. You can also go to the floor, depending if you have kids, babies, puppies, or kittens, then you can stop it halfway. And then just swag it through so you have a center part and then again. So it just makes it a little bit more dramatic. If you have a really big mantle, you could swag it a couple times. Or if you have a small mantle, don't even swag it at all and just have one drop down section. And a way to balance the stockings and actually make your eye dance across them, because sometimes they can just be stockings and just flat and not overly interesting. If you've got your tree on one side of the mantle or any big object, you could layer your stockings on the opposite side and it anchors and it almost balances out the room versus having the stockings in the center in the tree. This side of the room would look completely empty and it would look like it needs to be filled with something. So this is just a way to fill the space and really balance out the room. So cheat them to the side. And then a fun way to make, I'm gonna move this chair, a fun way to make your stockings dance. So if you have all the same stocking or you're going every other stocking, is to elevate the height of your stocking holders. So if you notice here, these white books are back again. So there's propped books underneath each of the stocking hangers, and that made these have varied heights. So it's a little subtle thing, but it adds a little bit more interest to your mantle. And then you can do battery or plug-in lights. And I brought in the color from the tree. So red and just little cranberries into the garland. But if you were doing like blue on your tree, you could add blue ornaments. You could even do just simple metallic colors just to bring that color tone around. And that helps.
Now I have a question for you.
All right.
Okay, so if a lot of mantles, they have a place where you put your TV. So the TV would go across that.
Yes.
And so you don't want to really block your TV with all the stocking holders.
True.
So say you had 6, like my family, how would you display that?
That's it. You know what you could do? Oh, I wish you asked me this sooner because I could have made an example. Then what you can do, instead of adding the height underneath the holders, you can have flat holders. There are definitely stocking holders that are heavy weighted that don't have a top piece. So you can find that, or they have a really long projection. In fact, I have some of those so that they just balance on the mantle. So they're flat. And the way you could change this height is to tie ribbons on your stockings. So for example, if I put this one on a ribbon and then I hang it at this height, and then this one isn't on a ribbon. So then you have color from the ribbon on your tree and the same color you're bringing around the room, and then you would take this one, the every other one, and just on the flat hanger, and the other two drop at a lower height using a ribbon. And I do that a lot of times, and it gives that same effect, and it's really fun, and it won't get in the way of your tree.
Got it. And what if your Christmas tree isn't next to your fireplace, say it's across the room? Would you still put the stockings together, or would you space them out along the mantle?
I would put them together, and I would center them. Unless you have a really big object at the corner anchoring it, but let's just say your fireplace is there, and then you've got shelves, which is a typical situation.
Yes.
Then and you've got just regular accessories on those shelves. I would center them, and I'd keep them fairly close together to make it a little bit more impact, but I would vary the heights.
And so centered in the middle of the mantle.
Yes. So for example, if any accessory that is spread too far away, no matter what the accessory is, it doesn't look as good. So for example, if I just have these two there, it's just airy and it doesn't look as good. But watch when you kind of crowd them in and add another element in there.
Yes, I love that.
It looks a lot better. So I would definitely group them together.
Okay, great.
It's a good question. So I'm not going to bother hanging these back up. And you've seen my living room before, and I'm typically black, white, and other variations of neutrals, other than when it comes to holiday or the fall, and I'll warm it up a little bit. So to bring in the color of the tree, I brought in pillows, and that's a typical, easy answer for anything, but something I do want to just give you an update on from a trend perspective.
Okay.
Bigger pillows are definitely in right now. And in times past, it was easy just to go buy an 18 by 18 pillow, but they're not as impactful. So go big and go bold with your pillows. You don't need as many of them. So a 22 by 22, or this is a 24 by 24, and I'll tell you the decorative pillows are just getting bigger. They're even 26 by 26, and they really make a big impact. So bring in color shots in big, dramatic pillows, but you don't need a lot of different pillows. And then texture, you can't get enough texture right now for the holiday, like this big chunky throw. It doesn't have to be anything expensive, and chunky pillows, the more texture, the more impact your color will give off for the holiday. And then when you're doing, I want to take one step back, talking about spaces and making an impact. If you're doing one room, you want to go for it and make an impact. And the way you would do it is just the way you're accessorizing a room when you don't have any holiday decor. So you want to layer the heights so you have it at ground, mid, and eye level. And you also want to ribbon it around your room. And it's easy to forget the coffee table, or you feel so pressured for the coffee table to be perfect, just like the mantle, that you avoid it. It doesn't need to be perfect, and it doesn't need to be fussy at all. An easy holiday fix is just having clear glass votives. They could even be bowls for that matter. You could just have white mixing bowls even. And instead of just putting cranberries in all three of them, vary what you've got in the candles just to make it a little bit more impact. And so I've got cranberries on one, I've got clippings from the tree in another, and one that's just completely empty. Now, if you're doing this, be careful if you have real candles and real clippings, just to make sure you don't have a fire hazard.
I was wondering about that.
Make sure they're very fresh, or you're really paying attention to this, or even use a battery operated candle, just to be really careful. But definitely address that center of that coffee table with some of the same colors and some of the same sparkle. Another fun way to add a little bit of holiday into the room is just to take a plant and even just add white lights right into the plant. They're battery operated ones. I'm not going to make you traipse through the house with me and show you all of them right now, when I should have showed you some in the kitchen, but sometimes just the regular plants, I'll put little white battery operated sparkly lights, and that's enough to give an impact. The other places that really are nice to think about when it's holiday, besides fragrance and cocktails and your great room, wherever the main place where you're going to be gathering. It doesn't need to be your formal living room or your TV room, just wherever you're typically going to hang out with the family. That's where I'd really go big and go bold. The other places that are great for impact is your powder bath, but that doesn't take any effort. That you just put holiday towels and a fragranced candle, and that's really all you need there. And then, sorry, I just kicked you. And then your entry is another place that you can make an impact, whether it just be a wreath or even white sparkly lights. But you don't have to go all out. The other thing you can do if you have a sofa table, just take tree clippings and mix them underneath your accessories, and that makes an impact. And again, that fragrance and aroma, right when your family and your friends arrive, that really grabs them and sets the tone. And holiday music. If you have holiday music, that's always a nice thing.
Yes, I love the idea of holiday music.
Because you think about all your senses and affecting your senses. So you've got the music, so that's your hearing, you've got your visual, and you've got the sense of feel with all your textures, and you've got your the fragrance for your sense of smell. In my book that's coming out in April, I touch on all of that in all the different areas of your home and how that really affects your enjoyment of your home and your environment. And I'm excited since we got to make the announcement earlier today. For the first time ever, I have my official book called Love Coming Home, and it's launching. It'll be on the shelves in April of 2018. We're in the final editing phase. It's been a lot of work, but it's been a lot of fun.
Yes, I'm so excited to see that.
So I'm excited. But now, should we answer some questions?
Yes, we got so many Facebook fan questions, so thank you so much for those questions. And then also what we're going to do in our last segment at 6 o'clock is we're going to take all the questions from our first Facebook Live and this Facebook Live, and we're going to take all those questions and we're going to answer as many as we can in the next segment.
Great.
But we're going to start with these first.
Okay.
And these were originally from our Facebook post that we did originally.
Great.
When we said we were going to be doing the live with you. So these are questions
Great.
from our fans. So Sarah had the first question, and Sarah said, any tips for mantles and fireplaces this year?
Oh, we just covered that. I would say, not to be redundant, but you don't have to go overboard, and don't give yourself so much pressure that the mantle has to be perfect, because it's so easy to put it off. Simple garland and stockings, and vary the heights of the stockings with a few of the tips we talked about. Maybe add some white lights into your garland and maybe some ornaments, and that's really all you need to do. For the garland, swag it once or twice, as opposed to just straight across, and that tends to add a little bit more texture and beauty.
Great. So Vasada said, when is the best and or proper time to hang Christmas lights and decorations?
Oh, good question. So this is my opinion, and not that you have to follow my opinion. I think for a time frame, I think the earliest is the Thanksgiving weekend or the week before Thanksgiving, so you can have the decor up before everyone's there at Thanksgiving. I did that, but I also know that I'm filming for the holidays, so I needed to. Most often, we'll put our decor up right after Thanksgiving is finished, so that weekend. I have a definite opinion for when you should take down your decor, and to me there's no gray area about this at all. I think it needs to be done by the first of the year, like after New Year's, that New Year's Day. Get rid of it, take it down. There's nothing pretty or charming anymore about the holiday decor after the first of the year hits, so as soon as you possibly can. And the same goes for your exterior decor. In fact, even more, shut the lights off. Even if you have them up, unplug them. Don't make your neighbors go through Christmas again, because typically once January 1st hits, you're into the new year, new you, and you don't want to relive the holiday at all. But the Christmas lights, that's another one. Those can go out a little bit earlier, and because the daylight, it's darker earlier, so you could start putting your Christmas lights out a week or two even before Thanksgiving if you really wanted to.
So Megan said, any simple, budget-friendly decor items to lighten the bedroom?
Paint. White walls are fabulous. They're my favorite. In fact, we were going to talk about that tonight, but it's too hard to show painting in a dark environment, so we're going to show that in January. But lighten up your walls and lighten up your bedding. The bed is the focal point of a bedroom, and it's the place you can make the biggest impact. You don't need to buy a new bed to lighten up your room. Just go all white or all ivory or a light taupe with the bedding, and fold down. If you have a heavy comforter right now, you don't want to invest in new bedding. Fold that comforter over, and typically a comforter has got white on one side or it's got a secondary pattern. Go to the lighter side and fold that in thirds, and then have your white sheets show, and then maybe have a couple accent pillows on there. And so a light bed and light walls will automatically lighten up the entire room. You could pay attention to your lampshades and go whiter with the lampshades, and also your light bulbs, and use a whiter tone light bulb, but not a daylight bulb in your bedroom, because that mimics daylight.
So Brenda said, can you share tips on how to decorate with what you love without going overboard?
That's a good question, because sometimes we aren't in tune with what we love that may not be pleasing to someone else, but it's your home. That's the thing. You want to be able to express your personality in your home. And that, to me, is first and foremost the most important thing. So if you have a type of object, I wish I knew what it was that you loved. Let's say it's...
Well, like my girlfriend loves owls.
Oh, owls. Okay, that's a great one. You know, owls, then that's a kind of a collection. So as opposed to putting an owl in every single room, I would put your owl, pick a one room to make an impact. It could be your kitchen, it could be your great room, it could be your laundry room or your powder bath, and go all out with owls and make a statement. My husband is really into Curious George of all things. And so there was a time where his office was lined with Curious George photos and Curious George shelves. If I had a Curious George sitting on the mantle and on the coffee table and in the dining room, it would look so silly, but it kind of made a fun impact in his office. Now the collection's hanging in the garage. but yeah, pick one area of the home and really go all out.
Great. Okay, so Melissa asked, and I know you talked a little bit about this prior, but how to layer a room and how to soften a leather couch.
So contrast the texture. That's the most important thing. If you have a leather sofa, don't add a silk pillow or anything shiny. Go for a lot of texture and a lot of nubbiness. So you can use like mud cloth pillows. You could use a suede pillow because that's a different texture altogether. You could use a chenille pillow or a wool pillow or a sweater-like pillow or even a velvet, not a shiny velvet. And then the same goes for your throws. And then whatever color you have, let's say you have like a dark tan sofa. Ivories are gorgeous on that. You can do ivories and navies would be really pretty together. So it just depends on the color of the leather.
Okay. So Jenny said, what new colors are perfect for a country theme but city at heart?
So you know what you just described? You just described modern farmhouse. That would be country with a city feel because you've got clean lines, but all that texture, the rich texture. What was the question you asked? She asked specifically about...
She said, what new colors are perfect for a country theme but city at heart?
Okay. Whites and grays, or ivories and grays. And grays are warming up right now, so it's not a really cool tone gray, but a warmer gray and a lot of texture in your woods. You cannot go wrong with that. I'm seeing some indigo in replacement of blacks and things, but a dark charcoal and some light grays and taupes and whites. That, to me, is the perfection of modern farmhouse or country with city girl at heart.
So Greg said, what are the easy things that don't take too long to do or take down and save for next year?
For the holiday, I'm assuming he's talking about.
Yes.
So tree is hard, takes time to put up and takes time to put down. So if you want a tree, I would say do a tree and nothing else. That would be simple. And then maybe take a bowl in the coffee table, just fill it with ornaments, and then call it good, because then you've really ribboned that color around the room. You can take votives and load them with ornaments and load them in different colors. You could do candles, warm up the space. You could take garland on the mantle is really easy to do. I would say almost anything I do. I'm not into fuss. I'm not into taking a lot of time. And so I like bigger objects that make a big impact that are easy to throw up. So anytime you could, even if you have a banister on your stairwell, just weaving garland through it, that's easy.
There's the doggies again.
Here are my dogs. I think they're more active at nighttime. I know they're more active at nighttime because there's a lot going on out here. And a wreath on the front door, a Christmas tree, a bowl of ornaments, maybe a garland somewhere else. Those are really simple, easy things to put out and put back away.
Now, I know when we talked about the garland, we didn't talk about, do you prefer fresh or artificial?
Personal preference.
Okay.
So if you're not needing to live with it from Thanksgiving to Christmas, then you can go with fresh. Like if you're just going to use it for a shorter amount of time. I love fresh garland for the fragrance. It's so nice, but it can tend to look dark. It can tend to look burnt out quickly. If you want just ease, so you're not having to go to the store to buy the garland each time you hear the noisemakers. We're much more, I think we'll be quieter with us here. If you don't want to have to go to the store and hassle with buying it each time, I would do a faux one, and then you just curl it up in a box and have it for the next season, and it's really easy.
Great. Okay, so Trina said, what are some simple ways to make the outdoors beautiful without getting it destroyed or broken in the snow and cold?
Oh, you know, I don't live in the snow and the cold, so I'll just tell you what I know my friends do and what I see typically. And I think lights are the best way you can do lights in your trees, and it could be white or multicolored lights or a wreath on your front door. If you've got snow, you don't necessarily want a lot of different objects out in your lawn because they're just going to get covered in the snow and they will break. So I'd keep it to like the trees and the front door more than anything, and don't feel compelled to have a lot going on in your backyard or your front yard.
Okay, great. So So Trina, single father looking to decorate with minimum clutter, but not take away from the Christmas spirit.
Okay, I like that. A man after my own heart. A tree, and then you don't have to do anything else. That's all you really need. There's no reason. Sometimes I hear a lot from people that they don't want to even decorate for the holiday because they don't want their home to look like clutter, and I totally appreciate that. So I would stick with a tree and call it good, and maybe put like bells hanging on a ribbon on your front door so that when you open the door you hear the jingle bell, and have something to fragrance, a diffuser or a crock pot with the smell and Christmas music, and I think that's all you really need.
So Leslie said, are there any ways to change up Christmas tree decorations from year to year? And I know we talked about that in our first segment.
Well, touch again.
Yes.
Yes. It's funny you should ask. And I think I'll come over to the tree to answer that. Sorry, Jody, to cross you, but that you start with if you want to change it up affordably, get a lot of affordable metallic or neutral ornaments that really layer your tree first, and then use your accent color as a secondary color. So, for example, I've got the reds in here, but these could be blue, they could be purple, and I don't have a ton of the red because all the neutral fills it in, and that's an easy way to change up your color without having to put a lot of money into it. And then just do the simple other little things like the pillows and throws in that same color that you're using for your ornaments, and that's just an easy way to do it. You can even change the color of your tree skirt if you want. My tree skirt is just pieces of fabric, and so you just grab pieces of fabric from the fabric store, and you can just chop them up and lay. It doesn't have to be a true traditional tree skirt at all.
Is the tree skirt supposed to come out to a certain part of the tree?
I don't know that there's a rule.
Oh.
I think if it were a real tree, then you want to cover where the branches are going to come, because it's really to keep your rug clean. Okay. But I like it just kind of billowing and cascading out in different layers, just to add another color shot and just to add more texture. So I think it's just how you want to see it matters.
Okay, so I'll let you sit down. Okay. We'll get to the last question for the evening. So Bonnie said, how do you arrange portraits on a blank wall with making it seem like it's cluttery?
So I love this question, and I'm going to answer it just very basically because we're going to film a Costco Facebook Live on that exact topic in January. I like it so much, but I'm going to give you a couple tips and we'll exemplify it soon. Make sure that the photos you have, that they're all the same color tone. So for example, either all black and white or all sepia or all colored. If you mix and match black and white with color, it looks very cluttery.
Okay.
You can mix, and you should mix the sizes and the shapes of the frames, but try to keep them all the same color tone, and that ends up looking like you did it on purpose. So for example, you have all black frames or all silver frames or all gold frames, and that will make it look impactful. And I'm going to give you a lot more of those tips coming up soon.
Okay, great. Well, before we reveal our winners, let's talk about some of the products that you have on Costco.com.
Oh, great. And we've got, in fact, I've got some here, and we're going to be giving them away. So we've got, on Costco.com, we've predominantly got bedding, and we have our Eternal collection, which is our #1 selling bedding collection, and we're getting some samples. Bree's going to bring them on over here to us. But we've got sheet sets, and we have duvet covers, and we have quilted blankets and quilted shams. So thank you very much. This is Bree. She's our senior designer. She helps design all of these and picks out the colors. So we've got sheet sets that come with 2 pillowcases, and our Eternal sheet set, it's like extraordinarily soft, and it's wrinkle resistant. It's really easy care. We've got it in a lot of hotels. Thank you, Bree. It's just so comfortable. Oliver approves.
Yes.
Down there getting cozy here. And we have, we call these blankets or coverlets, and you can use them for either. They layer really well on a bed, and they're really washable. I have one at the foot of my bed that goes to cover my bed when I leave for the office every day, and we wash it every single week because my dogs tend to spend a lot of time, and I'll put these even on the sofa. I have a lot of these, and we have these in different colors too. We've got them, at Costco.com, we've got them in white, we've got them in ivory, we have them in a taupe color, we have them in a graphite color, and we even have them, I think, in an indigo color right now.
And you said some new colors are coming.
We've got new colors coming out that will be on Costco.com. We've got a linen color and a blush color coming as well. And then we also have the shams. And so we're giving away Can I talk about
Yes,
it?
please
I'm
talk
like so
away,
excited
yes.
to do this. We can bring the mattress on over too.
Yes.
So this is our grand giveaway, and then the next hour. And you've been asking a lot about how you can enter to win. The way you enter to win is comment in the comments below, and then with like tonight, anybody that's commenting or entering to win, that would be picked for the next time. But we pick the winners throughout the time that we do the announcement prior to the event happening. So we've actually pre-selected winners based on everybody that commented right up to the segment. But continue to comment because those can go in for a later entry. Okay, so do I have names
I'm going to
here?
reveal those for
Thank
you. So we have 4 lucky winners coming up.
Wonderful. Okay, so Doris Morrison Campbell, you have won one of our Eternal Collection sheet sets. Congratulations. And Morgan Welch, you've won one of our Madison quilted blankets in the color and size of your choice. Same goes for your sheet set. You can pick your color, your choice. And Gary Narberis, I think I got that right. You've won one of our Luxe Collection sheet sets. And that's one of our most premium fabrics. It's super soft and wrinkle resistant. For our grand winner right now, we've got one more grand winner coming up. Not that these are all not amazing prizes.
And those are amazing because I sat on those last time we were here, the mattress.
Oh, they're so nice. So we have our new Eternal mattress that is spectacular. It's what I sleep on every single night. It's just, I have no aches or pains anymore, and it's open cell technology, so it doesn't sleep hot, and it just cocoons you. Even though it's a firm sleeping mattress, it still feels extremely soft. Okay, so enough of a commercial about that. So we have, our winner is Megan Owens. You have won a mattress in the size of your choice. Congratulations. So we're going to come back.
Yes, at 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. And all the questions that you've been asking the past 2 hours, we're going to address those. So you're going to catch me, most of these caught me off guard, but completely off guard, because I have no idea what you've been asking right now, because I've been talking. So we're going to answer those, and then we're going to come back and give away more sheet sets, more blankets, and a mattress. So we'll see you soon.
Thank you.